Hello guys, and today I will be showing you how to use these layers, right? These blending mode layers. Okay, so first let's play around with my highlights, which will be this yellow. So blending mode, I recommend using them for whenever you're doing shading, highlighting. That's what I use them for. So normal, it's just like how the layer looks normally without, playing around with blending modes. Then we have darken, which will darken it. Quite self-explanatory. You have multiply, which these blending modes should be used for the shading, so let's go to the shading. So darken, like it desaturates it, makes it darker, a bit more gloomier. Multiply, it's similar to darken, but it keeps it's more saturated. It's like if you were to go, pick the color. Darken kind of does this. It moves both of them, and then multiply is just moving one of them, which would be this, a bit. I use multiply a lot when my shading. So, and it's pretty good, cool thing to use. Next we have color burn, which is I think it's good for if you're doing something soft for your shading. It's pretty soft, and I like it. Linear burn is pretty much the opposite of color burn. It's very intense and in your face, dark. And darker color, it's slightly darker than, I think slightly darker than before. You can put it back on normal. Next, we're going to play with lighten, with the lighten layers. So first we have lighten. It's lighter, that's for sure. You have it lighter. Kind of if you were going to think lighten is kind of just similar to, turning the opacity down. Or if you were to go take this color, I don't want that dot here. Take this color and just move that up a bit. Then we have screen, which is much more intense and very light, way lighter than lighten. You have color dodge, which is almost white. Is that a white? If I just select the color. Yep, it's white. So we have a white linear dodge. Oh, okay, if I select the color white, yeah, I'm pretty sure add is even more intense white. Get rid of that dot. Okay. Add lighter color. Is it lighter? Yeah, it's slightly lighter. It's not a darker color where you kind of barely notice the difference. And now we have contrast, which is another good thing to play around with for highlighting. So the thing I use the most for contrast is overlay. And there's many different uses for this. So one of them is to just change everything's color a bit. So what if I want to make everything more blue in this picture? Let's just go in, blue it is, and then we go to overlay, and it's so blue, it's all blue. It's a fun thing to play around with, if you wanted to alter a color. Another thing you could use overlay for, which I use it often, is if you wanted to go and add texture to a picture. So just go and pick denim texture for if you're gonna add in jeans, and then drag in your denim from the import picture. But Ibispaintx has this feature where you can go here, click this little picture button, and choose cloth patterns. So you want to choose cloth patterns, and you can scroll down until you find the pattern you want. You have like, all these crazy patterns. You got a lot of floral patterns, so you don't have to draw stuff, I guess. And let me just keep on scrolling, and here we have the jeans. So we just got a big old hunk of jeans. Just, okay. So we're going to make this a rough blob. Okay, so let's just add this in. And, we're just going to clip it, put it on the bottom so all the other layers affect it. And we put on overlay. And look, now it has a texture, jean texture. And if you look closely enough, you can see that all the other layers are affected by it too. You see the jean texture there. So that's a fun thing if you don't want to add in textures yourself. So pretty useful if you wanted to make your hair look more detailed. You can add an overlay layer in, and boom, more detail, more strands, more texture. It's very good for that. Okay, now we have soft light, which is kind of like it says soft lighting, hard lighting. So I think most of these are good for, these are good for highlights. And then we have the difference layers, which are I guess kind of weird to use. I wouldn't recommend using them. They're kind of crazy. Divide looks okay, I guess. They'll kind of give you like a weird color, so wouldn't use them for shading. I don't want this green for my shading. It looks very rough. And then we have hue. Saturation. I'm not sure what saturation does. Every time I use it, it'll just gives me that. So I tried it before using on the yellow. It didn't. It gave the same effect. Luminosity could be good for shading color and hue. Color and hue compared to normal. They give you kind of lighter colors. And let's use those layers for the highlights. So we have hue, saturation, color, luminosity. Why is there a random hole? Okay, back to normal. I'll say that. I'll read that later. Oh, I had jeans right there. Never mind. So we have this blob now. He's sad blob. Let's try and use these things on our base color layer. Yeah, I have no idea what saturation does. It just looks like a demon. I think saturation is pure evil. Or like where the character is going to be lit in the world. God, I wish I could get rid of that random dot. Okay. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is going to be the first video. This is going to be the first video in a series of like Ibispaintx basics. Thanks for watching, and bye.